My greetings to everybody. Now we come to how to train or generate diligence, not from the negative point of view of letting go or reducing our laziness, but how to do it from the positive point of view. This now starts with first giving a kind of introduction, the short introduction, and then expanding the explanations. The first, it's stanza number 31 and 32. The forces that secure the good of beings are aspiration, steadfastness, relinquishment, and joy. Now these are the four ways of training in diligence: aspiration, steadfastness, joy, and relinquishment. Usually it comes like this: joy first and relinquishment next. Aspiration grows through fear of suffering and contemplation of the benefits to be attained. Out of that first is the aspiration. Whatever he wants to train in, whatever he wants to do, especially if he wants to generate the joy in doing positive things, then we must have aspiration. We must be aspired or inspired, and unless we are inspired, we cannot have diligence. So the first aspiration grows through fear of suffering. We know that whether it's ourselves or whether it's other beings, any other being, nobody wants to have suffering, pain, problems. And they do, fear it. They don't want it, So when we don't want suffering, we fear suffering, we like to be free from suffering, then we must do something. We must want to do something. We must aspire to free ourselves from suffering and pain and problems. And if we want to do that, then we want to find the causes of those sufferings, conditions that brings this pain and problem and suffering, how and in what way the suffering and pain and problem happens, and then we must make efforts to get rid of them, so that we will have So we must be very motivated to do that. The more we don't want suffering and trouble and difficulties, the more we should be inspired and aspired to work to that end, to end this suffering, to work to find out first what are the causes and conditions that bring that, and then how to eliminate that, and then working very hard on doing that. By strength of earnest application and contemplation of the benefits to be attained, not only fear of not wanting the suffering, but also if we can do that, if we can, do away with our sufferings and pain and problems, how good it will be, how nice it will be, how great it will be, If I can do away my problems and my sufferings, how great it will be for me. And if I can help to, get rid of others' pain and sufferings, how great that would be. And so therefore to contemplate on the benefit of doing this. And if I see this clearly, if I see how great, how beneficial, how wonderful it will be that I can do something about that, then how nice it would be, how wonderful it would be. That should make me very excited and inspired, and to try to work towards that end. I think I haven't read the Tibetan. Sentien dendrup shashir pong muten gaton torwayin. Mupa dungan jipaton te pen sambises. So this is Tibetan. It's the same thing that we talked about. If you really want to do something for the benefit of all the beings, some really work, then these four things is necessary. Aspiration, stability, and joy, and giving up, relinquishment, And the first comes from that we already explained. Tetra mutun shupete mutun galjagadon to le unjir tojin the patient bevashas. So this is now the 32, stanza number 32. Therefore, leaving everything that is adverse to it, I endeavor to increase my diligence through aspiration and self-confidence, relinquishment and joy. By strength of earnest application and exertion of control. So, therefore, if that is what I want, I want, generally why we are so busy all the time is we are trying to get something that is good for us, that will make us happier or more comfortable, or, giving more security, or something like that, or that will reduce our problems or difficulties, or insecurity, or something like that. That's why we are always always busy. So therefore we should, leaving everything that's adverse to it, means like being lazy, not postponing things for another time, not first, not caring. If I don't care what will happen, not happen, whether I do something or not, then I will never, attain anything. So first I need to care what is good and what is not good, what is important and what is not important, what is necessary and what is not necessary, like that. So if I'm not, if I find something that is good to be done, beneficial for myself, beneficial for other people, that will either bring something good for me or others, or get rid of something bad, negative for me and others, I should be very inspired to and very excited to try to act on this now, not delay it, so that we keep on suffering, keep on. That causes and conditions which brings suffering and pain and problems for ourselves, others, keep on increasing, becoming more stronger, becoming more difficult to deal with and solve. Then it's very bad. So I need to. And also not only that, delaying things, that kind of the laziness of, not only the laziness of procrastination, but also the laziness of distraction, that I do things which is not really useful, which doesn't really do any, benefit to myself or to others, in the near future, in the long kind of distant future, then, it's no use. It's not, that would be like totally defeating my purpose. So therefore, I must, if I'm doing something like that, if I'm distracted, I'm just playing with my iPhone or anything, something like that, or just doing something that is not totally, bringing anything useful, just distracting and killing time. Sometimes we call it killing time. Then I also, leave it, not doing that, leave advance. And in the same way, if I find myself, that I'm thinking, I'm having this kind of a notion or a view that I'm not capable of doing anything, I'm not capable of achieving anything. So if I start to look down on myself, if I find doing that, also leave that, because that's not true. That's not true. I cannot say I'm incapable of doing something when I have not tried again and again and again. And even if I'm not the greatest kind of achiever, or I'm not the most kind of a strong person or intelligent person, or I'm not the brightest person, or most kind of a powerful one, I should be able to train myself, make it better again, better and better and bigger, because this disability or not capable is actually a training. I've not tried to improve on myself. I didn't train myself. So then I don't know. If I start to learn how to do things, I become more intelligent, I become more proficient, I become more efficient. So therefore, I need to leave this kind of adverse, conditions. I labor to increase my diligence, and thereby, because I want to bring good things for myself and get rid of negative things for myself and also for others. So therefore, if I am inspired in that, then I must, I must try, I must labor, and I must work hard to increase and, be joyful in doing and do them. So therefore, and this, through these four things, through aspiration, self-confidence, relinquishment, and joy, by strength of earnest application and exertion of control, I need to train on how to be, how to inspire myself, how to bring aspiration, strengthen my aspiration, strengthen my self-confidence, try to train in living things that is not useful, that's not good, and then becoming excited and joyful and and happy in doing positive things. And when these qualities are awakened in me, I will naturally become diligent, and I'll naturally become a good person, and I'll naturally achieve things and do great things to my own surprise. And for that, by strength of earnest application, exertion of control, I must earnestly apply these 4 points on myself, and then exert some kind of a control on myself, the discipline. The first parameter, generosity. Second is to try to let go. Let go of nice things, let go of, try to give, try to help, by strength of earnest application and exertion. So the first parameter. Second parameter comes from there, because I can give a little bit, so I can let go, then I become a little bit more able to discipline myself, so exert some kind of a control. If I know this is a good thing to do, I can allow myself to do it. If I know this is not a useful or good thing to do, I can allow myself not to do it also. That brings discipline. And then that makes me to train or become better in patience, because then I have a little bit more control over myself. And in the same way, exertion of control, the diligence is also a product of that. So therefore, I become more diligent, more almost automatically joyful in doing positive things. And this, the second stanza, 32, I didn't probably read in Tibetan. Tetra munten shupote, muton ngajal gadong tor, lele onjir topchina, jundu peshin beparshas, de tetra munten bishu, pangni munten bishu, muton ngajal gadong tor, lele onjir topchina, jundu peshin beparsha. So I work, I train myself on diligence through these 4 points. So I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much.